We run it like a sports team where we just want to win championships. We want our realtors to win. And at the end of it, we always uplift realtors that are struggling. So that's the key. And you can see at any given day here, like there's always 20 people in and out, in and out, in and out. Sometimes we have 40, 50 people. I do believe in brand power. I believe in the red, white, and blue REMAX balloon. And if you combine it with your own brand, it's too powerful.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Millennials Choice Show. I'm 𝐬𝐮𝐫𝐫𝐞. I'm here with a very special guest, somebody who we've partnered with over the last few months, and we've taken our real estate business to a whole new level. And I'm very excited to have him on the podcast. It's long overdue. And I want to hear about your story, get to know you better, and kind of learn more about why REMAX. Why did you go down this journey 38 years ago, almost 40 years ago? And you look great, by the way. And just get to know you a little bit better, Mike. Get our audience that it's full of investors, everyday people going through life, realtors, mortgage brokers. Why did you choose REMAX? Why real estate? How have you navigated the ups and downs? Because our market sometimes can be so volatile.
So volatile.
Yeah. And so, crazy. Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome to Millennials Choice Show.
Thank you. So it all started, Matthew, in 1986. I got my license, and I decided I just wanted to go with the top real estate brand, and so that's how I joined REMAX. And then, of course, we've seen the ups and downs from markets from 1989 all the way in the 90s, high interest rates. And, we struggled, but we pulled through. Mm-hmm. So, and then we opened up our own brokerage, REMAX EXPERTS.
Right.
3 years ago.
Yeah. And it's funny because when I met you the first time through one of our top producers here, Francesco.
Oh, yeah.
We were at the other location.
Yeah,
right?
Major Mac.
At Major Mac, yeah. And so, it's when you attract top producers, it says something about you and the brand. Because top producers, it's kind of like they can go anywhere. So why you? Why your brand, right? And then when we came to this office and we were just kind of going through what it looks like if we were to partner and join you guys, it was under construction, right?
So it
was all construction. None of the offices were in. You were just kind of sharing the vision. A lot of people don't know this about Millennials Choice because we were a brokerage, but what inspired me to leave and open up my own shop was we were in Curaçao, Sarah and I, one of the ABC islands, and we were just on vacation, and I always bring a book with me. So I brought Everybody Wins, the REMAX story.
Yeah.
And as I'm reading Dave's story, and I'm like, oh, I'm resonating with this. He's taking risks. He has a couple properties. He's going to take a chance. He's going to kind of, change the way the game is. I fell in love with REMAX because then I learned about why the balloon, why these colors. They were like the Uber of the real estate brokerage model at the time. They revolutionized it. So I always fell in love with it, but because of my own personal circumstance, I didn't franchise a REMAX, or I just had to quickly just do my own thing. And then I quickly realized the power of the brand, which is why you were the only one I talked to.
But I'll tell you, it is the best brand. And for me, I stuck with it right from day one. And I do believe in brand power. I believe in the red, white, and blue REMAX balloon. And if you combine it with your own brand, it's too powerful, right? So why fight it? Why reinvent a wheel? Just get out there and hustle.
Yeah. And, brokerage, if you're not a broker of record, you're a broker of record, you own the brokerage, you know what comes with that.
Yeah.
The compliance, the administration, the headaches, the fines, the babysitting. Oh. I don't envy you. I only did it for 5 years, but I don't really it's part of my resume, but it was just Danny and I and Sarah. So it's it's fine. It's nothing crazy. But when you're trying to scale, I think we're at around 300 people in this company.
It's a challenge. It's a challenge every day, 300 different personalities.
Yeah.
But honestly, I know how to, for me, I know how to deal with it in a sense that I try to treat everybody the same and try to give them the best customer service.
Yeah.
And if we do that, we all win.
Because under you, we are your clients, right? By extension, our clients are also your clients, but we under you, you're taking care of us. And I think that for us, just so you know, when we were having these internal conversations, because I think we met 3 or 4 times before I said yes. And I think that was important for me to take those steps.
For sure.
But it was just the fact that like the office we're in now, we're in the Shark Tank room. This office is about 10,000 square feet, state of the art.
State of the art.
Nobody's investing in their real estate brand and their brokerage that I see here in Canada, at least in Ontario. I haven't seen all of Canada like you are. And that's what got me.
My vision was to really to put together an office where people can just collaborate, a lot of teamwork, where you can just drop in, do some work, get yourself on a routine, and provide our realtors with some good solid training. And at the end, it'll all come together.
Yeah.
So, but we put it together. Our vision was discipline, success, challenge, mindset, teamwork, everything about REMAX Experts, being grateful, empowerment, positivity, collaboration, and obviously staying motivated. Like that's our vision board.
Yeah.
So we try to just motivate our realtors to go out there and hustle every day.
Yeah, like we had options. I only interviewed you, and I'm like, this guy, like I'm set on it. Now it's just a matter of 5 years. My brain was wired a certain way, so it's about rewiring and like, okay, do I stay as a broker of record under the brand? Do I become a satellite? Do I become just a broker? Yeah. I said, I've got 2 kids now. We could incorporate. It's a new season in our lives. Why reinvent the wheel, as you said? And honestly, I don't envy you. Like, you have the responsibility. You got to do the invoices. You got to get us paid. You got to do all these things where I was doing before on a smaller scale. Yeah. And I don't even want to think about 300 people or however many agents we have and stuff.
And for us right now is we put together a good, solid admin team. And with a good, solid admin team, good management, it all comes together. So that's the key. We're not perfect. We'll still make mistakes. We all will, right? Yeah. But at the end of it, like we just want to get out there and just work.
That's what this environment is. So a lot of people know that we had our own office.
Yep.
And I'd go in there like every day. And it used to be Sarah that would sit at the front. I'd be in the back. And then once we had kids, obviously Sarah just had a full-time job there. Yeah. And so I actually chose to sit at the front so that whenever people walk by in the hallway, I could say hello to them. And I actually ended up selling the 3 units next door to me.
Amazing.
Just from sitting up there. Yeah. So it was a different environment because I didn't have agents or support staff. But once I came in here and started trying it out and I have my office here that I love, I was like, this is it, man. Like, I gotta be in this. If I want to be in this environment, even though I'm already successful, I feel like it's going to take me to a whole new level because I'm going to be inspired by other people in here.
Inspiration. It is a passionate office. We run it like a sports team where we just want to win championships. We want our realtors to win. And at the end of it, we always uplift realtors that are struggling. So that's the key. And you can see at any given day here, like there's always 20 people in and out, in and out, in and out. Sometimes we have 40, 50 people, which is great. And it's just changed the real estate industry in a sense that you want to be surrounded with people that have good work ethics and that just want to come in and work. Yeah. And it just shows in our prospecting.
It's jumping like 21 Jump Street sometimes. I was here yesterday. I'm just trying to be here almost every day, Monday to Friday. And it was buzzing. And I love it. And the weather's getting warmer and the real estate market's picking up. It's a little it's up and down, but it's...
Hopefully, I mean, we are in the spring market right now. So you'll see. I mean, January, February, as you know, we're a little slow. Yeah. Major big snowstorms in February. But I think now March, interest rates are on their way down. April, interest rates should be coming down again. So you're going to start seeing the market start to pick up a little bit. So you're going to see a little bit more of an uptick as far as multiple offers again. And it's all about pricing strategy, but we just got to be consistent.
I agree.
So that's the key.
Yeah. And now, so 38 years in the business, you got in 86, getting your feet wet, 88, 89, market starts to turn. People lose their shirts 90, 91, and then it's a slow recovery.
Slow recovery. I didn't have a great manager at the beginning who basically pushed me to work to the next level. So I was just like hands-on my own. And I started, I made mistakes, but what I did do is I stayed in my lane and I was consistent. And then I just my work ethics took over. And when I did see a major recession back in 1989 and the early 90s, the key was just to stay in your lane and just keep doing what you're doing. So even though my numbers may have dropped a little bit as far as my sales, that consistency helped me long term and then just pushed me through the 90s and into the year 2000s.
It's so hard though, man. It's so hard. Like the last 3 years, the market's taken a beating. Interest rates started going up. A lot of legislation was passed, foreign buyers ban and vacant home tax and underused housing tax in Toronto and all these different things that kind of curbed demand. But at the same time, it increased supply because rates went up and people couldn't afford their mortgages. The economy slowed down. People got laid off and they became unemployed. And so we saw a lot more supply come into the market, but it's dwindling down. It's coming back to, I feel like, almost a balanced market again. And hopefully it continues that way.
Yeah, it's a balanced market. So what I was a little concerned back 5-6 years ago is that I was seeing a lot of agents wanting to get into pre-con. So pre-construction.
Yeah.
But for me, I thought that was a trap. And I kept telling people, you got to balance it out. So you got to understand that the resale market is a market where you can provide good customer service right away because people have to buy and sell. And the pre-con market, with a lot of new realtors that were getting into business, was a fast market. You were just basically buying through a blueprint of or a layout of a builder, and it was just get in line, and if you're lucky, you get to buy one of these units. But what I found is when the market shifted, a lot of these realtors were struggling because that whole pre-con market just dried right up. And then that's where you're seeing that balance shift now, where you should be able to work both markets, understand the resale market, provide customer service, family and friends. People will always want to buy and sell. So you just got to be able to work a balanced market.
Yeah, one of my early mentors when I first started said, your license gives you access to everything. So you should try everything a little bit at the beginning to see what you like, what you don't like. And then pre-construction was a big part of my business, but I always had a balanced resale because first of all, cash flow is so important. Resale, you're getting paid a lot quicker. Pre-construction takes a lot more time. And if the building doesn't finish or the product is not built, you actually don't get paid or you return the commissions for the most part, the way the contracts are written. And then you have disgruntled clients too, because, ultimately they're probably going to put some blame on you as the expert who guided them. But for me, the model was if I sell 20, 30 deals in one building, I'm not going to focus on every building. I'm just going to focus on one builder at a time, one product at a time, something I would buy myself, and then do a bunch of sales, but then also do the follow-up, do the rentals, do the assignments, do the flipping afterwards, whatever the case may be. I know a lot of pre-con agents that they don't even do assignments or rentals. They just help the buyer and see you later. And I think to myself, they leave money on the table, but I think those are the same agents that then struggle to shift to resale because they're not building their database.
Building their database. If there's one thing that I did learn back in 1986, is that you have to build a database. You can call it whatever you want, a CRM base, a relationship base with all your clients, past clients, people you know. But if you put that together, 60 to 70% of all your business will come from your database, from people you know.
I agree.
And you know what? As long, and I keep repeating myself, as long as you provide good customer service, your client wins, you win.
Yeah. So I have a way I go through my database, which it's typically a daily thing. Yeah. And I'll break it down by letter. So I'll start A, and if I go all the way down to Z and I come back around, that means every 30 days or so I should be touching base with my database.
100%.
Right?
Like you got to touch base with people at least once a month, if at the bare minimum, once a quarter, 4 times a year. But you still have to stay in touch with people. And it doesn't always have to be about real estate, just to checking in on people, how they're doing, how's the family. People go through things in their lives, right? So you just don't want to be there to make a sale with a client. You also just want to become a friend with clients, right?
Yeah.
And then you're both working together.
There's nothing wrong with that, because I know some people will say, I don't want to work with my friend or my relative because I don't want them to know my business. Yes. But it's at the end of the day, they're going to work with somebody, and it's such an emotional interaction that you develop a relationship one way or the other. Yeah. So why not befriend them? People buy from people they're friends with, or they trust people they're friends with typically more than a stranger. And that's why I think Barbara Corcoran, who's in real estate, said that the door that was opened for me was a lot easier to go through than a door that wasn't open for me. And I had to try to find myself. So repeats, referrals, database, those are like the three keys. That's what I do. That's personally my thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I was going to ask you, so I mean, one of the different things being at this brokerage compared to like my own little boutique was awards and recognition. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And so I got to know a lot of the top producers. Some I knew, some I didn't, and vice versa. But what I was going to say was those top producers, the top producers in here, what would you say are some of their traits that make them top producers?
Honestly, like I know every one of these, like I know all these realtors that I consider everybody a producer. A top producer is somebody that just goes over and above and does just a little bit more. But these guys are relentless. They're just constantly working, and there's no magic pill. They're constantly working their database. They're constantly talking to people, 10, 15, 20 people a day. And they are, again, providing a proper service, customer service. And then it just leads to more business. So people want to deal with successful people. People want to deal with hardworking, producing realtors to buy and sell a house. And I think that's, if there's one thing that I picked up on with all our realtors, is that they work that database.
Yeah. Database, work ethic, consistency. Yeah. Consistency, man.
Yeah. We're just starting next week a 3-week accountability group.
Yeah.
And it's just basically that we're going to meet in the office 3 times a week at 10 a.m. and it'll be a small group. So we've broken them down to 2 groups. We're going to meet and we're just going to basically discuss exactly what we're doing today. And then we're just going to follow it up with results. And then typically what I do is I chart everybody's results and then we share with them. So we meet every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We do it for 3 weeks. We get a fresh start into the spring market and we're ready to go.
That's great. I'll be a part of that. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
That'll be good. It's like coaching, right? Like you go to the gym, you get a personal trainer. Yeah. Or I was even telling Carson today, like, Carson, I appreciate the reminders you send me. I need that too. Yeah. I need that encouragement, that little push sometimes, right? We all do. And so I think that's so important. Does it ever piss you off? It used to bother me, but does it ever piss you off when like an agent comes in here? Like you guys have to see like this office. You can't really see it with the tint, but outside it's a state-of-the-art facility. Does it ever piss you off somebody walks in here, you go over with them, everything sounds great, everything's fine, and then they start nagging and nickel and diming you about fees and things like that?
Honestly, Matt, it's not about the fees, and I keep telling everybody it's about putting together a proper career in real estate, and the fees come. You're gonna pay fees anywhere you go. But no, it doesn't bother me anymore. It used to bother me at the beginning, but then at the end of this, we choose to work with realtors, and if they're not the right fit for us, we're perfectly fine to go work somewhere else, and we wish them all the best.
Yeah, yeah. What's the vision here now in terms of? I mean, we have our goals. I have my goals. You have some goals, I'm sure. I mean, is it going from 300 to 500, 1,000? What are you thinking?
My goal is to organically grow our company, REMAX Experts, like 20 agents a year. And then once we reach that goal, is obviously to try to provide the best customer service to all our realtors. So that's our goal.
Yeah, day by day, year by year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. You remember people when they'd plan like a 10-year goal, 5-year goal. I tried, and then I'm like, things move so quick.
So fast.
You adjust it all the time. So
fast.
now I'm more of like a 1 year.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
the goal is to basically work together a business plan year after year. So every year, because if you're trying to work a business plan for the next 10 years, you got to factor in what about if there's a recession? What about if there's tariffs? What about if interest rates go up?
Illness.
What about if
anything,
interest
yeah.
rates go down? What about if something changes in your life?
Yeah.
So you just got to basically be able to work something out that's reasonable and is attainable. And at the end of it, another strong recommendation is to do a business plan in October, November every year. Just get ready for the following year.
Set your goals.
Yeah, set your goals.
Yeah.
Because you do, like, basically economic platforms out there, world economic politics will all play a big part in what's going to happen in the real estate industry here in Ontario and Canada.
Do you ever see an opportunity here in Ontario where larger companies, they've been successful for so long, but then there's a change or something happens and there's an opportunity now to acquire another brokerage and expand?
Brokerages. I thought about that. You know what? And at the end of it, we didn't want to run REMAX Experts like with 15 different offices in Ontario. My strategy and vision was basically run one big hub. It's a great big meeting area, and then everybody just spiders out and just works the whole market. So from Toronto to 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐤 region to Peel region to the Vaughan market, Richmond Hill, so Durham region. So just consistency, just keep working the market. But this is your centralized hub. Yeah. So this is where we run it all. This is the flagship. This is where you bring your client. You want to do multiple offers, close a deal. It's a great facility here and brokerage here where we have the team, the admin team, the support staff to help our realtors.
Yeah, I love it. Even when we're using the boardroom, you got the starlight, what's it called? The Stardust? It's like the Rolls Royce ceilings. I love it. That was a great touch. But this is what I've been telling a lot of clients who feel that the days of making so much money in real estate as an investor are over in Canada. I tell them, guys, since 2022, there's been less housing starts in history. Like, it's been really bad. I think since the 80s or 90s, since that recession. And so we know there's a lot of red tape when it comes to building and construction. They launch a building today. If it successfully sells, just based on the nuances, it takes about 3 to 4 years to build, maybe longer. Yep. Like, we just closed a building in September of 2024 that we sold in 2017. Yeah, 7 years. Yeah. That's ridiculous. Yeah. But 2022 housing starts drop. 2023, there's barely any housing starts. Yeah. 2024, same thing. 2025 hasn't really happened yet. And there might be some that come down the line, but they're not sure. But that means, to me, that tells me that 2026, 2027, probably 2028 and the years beyond, we're going to have major supply issues because we haven't had much new supply to come online. What 100%. Are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the builders right now in the GTA have basically put a lot of their projects on hold. But what you're going to probably see is we need a lot of this inventory in the pre-con world to dry up. So there's a lot of assignment sales. A lot of people bought a lot of freehold properties. Once that dries up in the next 2 to 3 years, so you're probably looking at 2027, 2028 before development kickstarts again. But in the meantime, you do have a lot of inventory as far as resale market. But once that inventory starts to drop also, in the next few years, you're going to see the pre-construction market start to kick up.
February 2022 was the last really good month where any property you listed, multiple offers, 50, 60 showings. It was like crazy. People thought they wouldn't get a house. And then the first rate hike happened in March, then in April, and there were still properties selling because people didn't really expect it to be as aggressive as it was. But then it became really, really aggressive.
It's so aggressive. So, and every realtor had the best year during the COVID years, like every realtor. So, and I keep hearing that, I had my best year, but they all did. Every realtor did. The difference is now is you can see how it's separating itself is that the ones that had a balanced portfolio in real estate, from resale to pre-con to leasing, are the ones that are pulling through during the tough times. And it will be a struggle for the next couple of years, but you stay in your lane, you just stay focused, you stay disciplined, you're consistent every day, and you'll see you'll get out of it. And with flying colors, like everything will just take off.
Do you think that, so when you look at how much housing prices have increased over the last like 25 years, right? And then you look at wages. So if we do a scenario here, a $1.5 million property, let's say in the GTA, to qualify with an A lender under the current mortgage guidelines, you're looking at a income of about $500,000 plus on paper. Now, the problem is 1.5 million doesn't give you a 10,000 square foot mansion. It's in some areas a townhouse. It's very entry level or a smaller detached.
100%.
Right? So it's very entry level. Do you think that we need the system to change a little bit from a mortgage qualifying standpoint?
We've gone through a government that really hasn't done a lot for the housing market, and a little bit of mismanagement. But we do need the federal government to kick in with new programs to help first-time buyers, maybe help second-time buyers that are moving up to upgrade, maybe work something on land transfer tax, where we can give the consumer some sort of a break to help them out. But of course, we're always looking for new initiatives from our federal government and provincial governments, whatever we can do to just keep that housing market going. But what I did learn is that you have to be structured in a sense that if you're going to be a first-time buyer, get into the housing market, but buy something within your means, right? So don't over leverage, don't keep high payments. Just be reasonable and understanding it, and provided your household income can support it, stick with real estate. You can't go wrong. And then for the investor pool, again, be disciplined. Don't buy 5 units in 1 year.
I know.
Be careful, because I've seen it. I've been through it. So my rule that I usually recommend to our realtors and to family and friends is basically buy one property every 2 to 3 years. One every 2 to 3 years. You build a portfolio of 5 good, solid properties. And within a 20 to 25 year period, these properties will all be paid for, and then you're going to have a positive cash flow. And that to me is going to be your retirement fund. And so I just look at it like that. You don't need to own 10, 15, 20. If you're financially in a position that you can, and that's fantastic. But just be disciplined, be careful, and not to over leverage. Yeah. Because if a spike happens with interest rates somewhere, like what we seen a couple years ago, where the variable mortgage was at 1.99%, and then all of a sudden it jumped to 7%, 8%. Those payments tripled. And then this is the reason why a lot of people are a little bit underwater right now. Yeah. But hopefully, with the rates coming down, they can recover.
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see what happens with all these things that are going on in the world right now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Mike, this was great. And we'll do it again.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Do you want to leave our audience with any last thoughts, final thoughts? Tell them how they could contact you, follow you on Instagram.
You can follow me on Instagram, msquad. Honestly, we were always trying to look and grow our brokerage with good collaborative agents that want to work together. But at the end, guys, all stay motivated, all of us, and let's all work together. Let's collaborate. Let's have fun. And if you treat it like a business and you're structured every day, you'll be fine.
I love it. You got to treat it like a business.
Treat it like a business.
Even if you're just an individual, you may not have brick and mortar, but you are looked at and seen as a business owner.
Business owner. And last one thing is, honestly, and I keep repeating myself, is give your clients the best customer service, and you both win.
Yeah, it's such a lost art these days that the simplest thing goes a long way.
I see it all the time. Like, pick up the phone, talk to someone as opposed to constantly GMing or texting.
Yeah.
Once in a while, it's just nice to hear your voice and just meet in person, have a cup of coffee. You just go over things, have fun.
I love it. Mike, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. And until next time, you guys, thanks for tuning in. We're out.